I'm here this morning to talk about Barry Paley and my relationship with him. I myself was a real estate broker. Never really pursued it, but I just did get my license to understand the workings of the real estate industry on the North Shore of Long Island. When my wife passed away in 2010, a few months afterwards I put my house up for sale, and 3 years later the house was still unsold. 3 years later and three brokerage houses later. And then through a mutual friend, I was introduced to Barry. At this point I was quite frustrated because I had a beautiful carriage house, 1928 vintage, and I just wasn't getting the kind of traffic that I should have. Not an easy house to sell, needed an unusual couple to appreciate the old world charm and the warmth of the house. Barry came to the house, visited. He fell in love with the house, and that's important for the broker to really understand what the house is all about. The thing that made Barry so successful with me, I think, was that he used up-to-date techniques, sales techniques. First time I'd ever heard of drones being used to photograph the house, and part of the beauty of my house was the property and the very unique cloverleaf pool, which nobody really could show off until Barry had a drone take a picture overhead, and it made for a gorgeous brochure. In addition, my other brokers on their open houses always seem to be busy and send underlings to the house to show the house. But those underlings never really understood the property. And in order to sell something, you really have to understand the product. I give Barry kudos for understanding the product and showing up at every open house himself. He got the listing in mid-June of 2013, and I was in contract the end of October 2013, so 4 months. After 3.5 years, it took me 4 months to sell the house with Barry. One of the beauties of working with Barry is that he was an ex-businessman coming out of the fashion industry in New York City, so he understood how to talk to people and a little bit of business acumen, which is important when it comes down to the negotiating part of the real estate transaction. Everybody can walk into a house and say, this is the living room, this is the bedroom, etc., etc. But when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, you need somebody who can talk the talk and walk the walk and understand the ins and outs and be able to bob and weave to make a deal happen. This is what happened with Barry, and in that respect, I think he's very unique as a salesperson in the real estate industry on the North Shore of Long Island. To anybody that wants to sell their home, I would suggest you call Barry.